Have you ever come home after hours surrounded by people and felt strangely empty? You laughed. You talked. You were never alone. And yet something inside you felt thinner, quieter, as if a part of you had been slowly worn away. You were not tired from being alone. You were tired from never being alone at all. Nan, according to Friedrich Nietzsche, the constant noise of social life is one of the great hidden dangers to the human mind. Not because connection is evil, but because most of what we call socializing is not connection at all. It is performance. It is conformity. It is the slow surrender of your own voice to the opinions of the crowd. And the mind that never escapes this noise slowly forgets how to think for itself. N. Nietzsche understood this long before our time. He spent much of his life in deliberate solitude, in the mountains, in silence, because he knew a truth most people avoid, that the self is fragile, and that it can be quietly dissolved by the endless company of others. Tonight, I will show you how socializing, when it is mindless and constant, slowly destroys your mind. Pay close attention until the end, because the final point reveals the one form of connection that heals rather than harms. And almost everyone confuses the two. First, understand this. The crowd does not want you to think. It wants you to agree. Imagine the scene. You are in a group, and an opinion is shared. You feel a flicker of disagreement rising inside you. But you look around, you see the nodding heads, and slowly that flicker fades. You nod too. Nietzsche called this the herd, the powerful pull of the group that rewards agreement and punishes difference. Each time you silence your own thought to keep the peace, a small piece of your mind goes quiet. It's not that you changed your mind, it's that you abandoned it. Ask yourself, how many of my opinions are truly mine, and how many did I simply absorb to belong? Second, constant socializing fills every silence, and silence is where the mind grows. The deepest thoughts do not arrive in noise. They arrive in stillness, in the quiet hours when no one is watching and nothing is expected. But the modern world has declared silence uncomfortable, even shameful. So we fill every empty moment with conversation, with company, with noise. Nietzsche believed that solitude was not loneliness, but the soil in which the self takes root. When you never allow yourself silence, you never allow yourself to think. It's not that you are too busy, it's that you are afraid of what you might hear in the quiet. Ask yourself, when was the last time I sat alone with my own thoughts and did not reach for a distraction? Third, in the crowd, you slowly become who others expect you to be. With each different group, you wear a slightly different face. One version of you for friends, another for family, another for strangers. At first, these are small adjustments. But over time, the constant performance blurs the line between the mask and the self. You begin to lose track of who you actually are beneath all the roles. Nietzsche understood that the man who is always adapting to others slowly becomes a stranger to himself. It's not that you are being polite, it's that you are disappearing. Ask yourself, if I removed every role I play for others, would I still recognize the person who remains? Fourth, the opinions of the crowd become a prison you carry everywhere. The more time you spend seeking approval, the more your every choice begins to bend toward what others will think. You no longer ask, what do I want? You ask, what will they say? Nietzsche saw this as one of the heaviest chains a person can wear, the invisible weight of other people's judgment carried into every decision. The mind that is always calculating how it appears has no freedom left to simply be. It's not that you care about people. It's that you have handed them control of your inner life. Ask yourself, am I living my life or merely managing my reputation? Fifth, endless socializing drains the energy that creation requires. Every great work, every idea, every piece of art, every meaningful achievement is born in concentration. And concentration cannot survive constant interruption. The mind that is always available to others is never fully available to itself. Nietzsche believed that the highest acts of the human spirit demand long stretches of undisturbed solitude. The person who fills every hour with company may feel connected, but they slowly lose the depth from which anything lasting is made. It's not that socializing is wasted time. It's that it can quietly consume the time your soul needed to build something real. Ask yourself, what have I never created because I was never alone long enough to begin? Sixth, the crowd punishes the one who begins to change. The moment you start to grow, to think differently, to want more, to question what everyone accepts, the group feels the shift. And the herd does not celebrate the one who breaks away. It pulls them back. Through subtle mockery, through cooling friendships, through the quiet message that you are becoming too different. Nietzsche understood that the path to becoming yourself almost always requires stepping away from those who need you to stay the same. It's not that they stopped caring. It's that your growth threatened the comfort of the group. Ask yourself, am I staying in this crowd because it lifts me, or because leaving it frightens me? NN, and now, the deepest truth of all, the one almost everyone confuses. Not all connection destroys you. The right connection is one of the highest things a human being can know. Listen closely. Everything I have spoken of tonight is not an argument for loneliness. It is a warning against the wrong kind of company, the mindless, the conforming, the endless noise that drowns the self. But there is another kind of connection entirely, the rare friend who challenges you to become greater, the conversation that sharpens your mind instead of dulling it, the bond that does not ask you to shrink, but dares you to grow. Nietzsche treasured these rare friendships precisely because they were rare. He understood that one true companion who calls you toward your highest self is worth more than 1,000 comfortable acquaintances who keep you small. It's not that you must choose between people and solitude. It's that you must learn the difference between company that empties you and company that fills you. Ask yourself, do the people I surround myself with make me more myself, or less? And here is the philosopher's final lesson. Nietzsche never asked you to abandon humanity, to retreat into bitterness, or to live without love. He asked you to protect the most fragile thing you own, your own mind, to guard your silence, to choose your company with care, to return to solitude not as a punishment, but as a homecoming, where you can hear your own voice again beneath the noise of the world. The goal is not to escape people. The goal is to never lose yourself among them, and spend time in the crowd, but do not let the crowd live inside you. And remember that the mind which cannot bear to be alone will never truly belong to itself. NN music. Soft closing piano. So tell me in the comments, have you ever felt lonelier in a crowd than you ever did alone? Which of these truths spoke to you the most? The herd that silences your thoughts, the silence you have been avoiding, or the rare connection that actually heals? If this lesson reached you, leave the word solitude below to show you watched until the end. And remember, the world will always pull you toward the noise. Your task is to find your way back to the quiet, where the truest part of you has been waiting all along. Subscribe to Daily Philosophy to discover more lessons inspired by Friedrich Nietzsche, human psychology, and the quiet art of becoming who you are.